Say hello to a Gretsch 6121. This one is made in 1957. So, I kind of went on a rip about Leonard publishing. They also make a lot of really good books. It's those basic method books that I'm not so happy with. Like this book, The Beatles' Complete Chord Songbook is Leonard. They also do like signature series, and they make a lot of good books. It's those those basic songbooks or method books I'm just not. I used to teach out of them. I used to work in stores, and I was told, hey Brook, make sure you're selling those books to the kids. And I could see the kid would start the lesson, everybody's fired up the first lesson, and it would just grind them down to where they just hated it. I would, in the past few years, I've picked these up at garage sales, and you can see where the kids have only made like a few pages and then they quit. They sell the book, or I'll buy it at used bookstores, and I'll give them to my students. I'm like, do you want to work on this? And they're like, yeah, thanks. And then might do 2 or 3 lessons out of it, and they bail. I'm just saying they're no fun, and they play just weird old folk songs that nobody's ever heard of. So, I'm pushing this rock and roll stuff. And I do have a teaching degree. And I'm in a Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. But, if you want to play rock and roll, man, I'm suggesting E5. So that's your index on the 5th string, 2nd fret. It's a power chord. And you're just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and adding your ring finger on the 4th fret on the 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's where the snare hits. The snare drum. Boom, boom, crack. Boom, boom, crack. Rock and roll drums. Right. Now, let's move it 1 string towards the floor. Exact same thing, just the next 2 strings over. Then take it back to your E. So that was an A. Now we're back to E. Now that's really pretty easy. When you go to these other guys, it's pretty hard. Like the next chord you need is B, which is a 7 and a 9. You're adding your pinky on the 11. So that's your power chord, root and 5th. This is a 6th interval. If you can do that, you're doing really good. Let's take it 2 frets down to A. And back to E. Then your B. So you got a choice. You can do your A here or there. This is easier. This is nice because it keeps you on the same string. So it's kind of like being on a subway. These are the 2 lines of the subway, and you just stay on the train. You don't have to get off and switch cars to the other rail. So I'm going to do a rock and roll in E. Here we go. Here's A. Back to E. Here's your B. A. E. And your B. Yeah. Now, one good thing about those kind of simple books is the most valuable thing. I mean, reading notes is good. We should talk about that. Reading the standard staff is great. The more valuable thing than reading that standard staff is the timing. Understanding your quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, and eighth notes. that would be more valuable than playing these weird old church songs. And I did play professionally in churches for like over 12 years, and never once did we play any of those old weird church songs that are in that book. Never. And never did anybody ever put anything in front of my face that had any of the standard staff in it. So I'm just saying, for 99% of you guys, you're not going to need to sight read. While other teachers promote it hardcore. Because I think it's easy to sit there and run people through those books. And, you know, I've done it for myself, and I've got the whole book memorized, and I can just sit there like, here you go, oh, next, who's next? One size fits all. All right, what page are you on? Play it, you know, la la la. Give me the money, hit the road, next. I don't think that's really good. That's too easy. It was ridiculous. If there is a better series called Progressive Series, I might talk about that someday. But yeah, I'm kind of fired up. I know we've got, you know, a lot of teachers out there, and they care and they're good, but I think they're a little misguided pushing those Leonard books. That's my opinion. All right, do what you want to do. Thanks for watching. Let's rock.